And Sponge is going to get his tried and true Sejuani out for that final pick here. With a lot of synergy in this draft, you can cocoon into a Sejuani ult or vice versa, and then follow up on that target.
They also have a lot of dive setup. So level 1 for Rich, and there are 4 people in this top lane. Azeus is going to hop taxi his way over. That is going to be first blood. Over to Peanut as easy as you like, and it's even Delight that tanks up the turret, and therefore he can happily go back. The flash forward is Zeka, unable to get the solo kill onto Yukal. I don't know what happened there, but that does not look good as, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh Rich, oh
He's
no.
1 minion away from level 2.
Oh dear, the Turtle Port brings him in, but he had to sit and wait while it was coming through for so long. As okay, Andel's gonna come on over as somehow Peanut survives for an extra shot. Still, Rich has survived the initial onslaught as they wait for this tower to reset once more. The boulder comes down.
Oh, it's a disaster.
There goes Delight. Viper not quite dead, but close. And I said, oh no. What I meant was, oh Rich, nicely done.
I mean, I was watching that first dive and I was like, damn, he's 1 minion away from level 2. Viper in trouble.
Yeah, he's dead. And that's Rich getting another one as well. Never mind, that's
3 kills on an Elise actually is value. I was talking about this in the previous series. She actually uses gold pretty well. But at this moment, you know, we don't have the XP bar up, but he's so close to hitting level 2. He's like, I want that many of those. Meanwhile, Zeus is in trouble.
Oh god, okay, so, and now also here in the mid lane, Yukal, he is dead. So there we go. HLE getting 1 on the board, baby.
Yukal's flash.
Yep.
But that is about it.
Oh god, I think Delight might be dead. The cocoon is going to connect, and Andil is just having the greatest time. Look at that, he's got Sork shoes already. And they have a feat of strength. Oh my.
It's like he's going to get 2, as he does have that smite.
Yeah, should be able to take this one down. There we go, turns, but the cocoon is going to connect. Delight is going to die for it as the permafrost comes in. And down he goes, 4-0 this to DRX.
Yeah, it's a bit problematic as...
That's an anger arrow is what it feels like to me. But Peanut's coming down. Not going to be able to connect that though because Andil able to go up into the sky. Still, that is shutdown goal going over to Peanut.
Over on the other
teleport,
side.
Actually, as Viper is dead, guys. Doesn't have his flash. Does manage to cleanse, but he's still dead. As you can see, some grub's going to be taken here by DRX. They nail down the first one. Should be able to grab 2. Let's see whether HLE can even the score as far as that is concerned. But instead, they're going for a fight. Sponge down incredibly low, but Yukal diving in. And he's super tanky, to be perfectly honest. The Shock Blast, the tiny one, is able to wipe out this Pantheon as now Viper free hitting. To the skies goes Yukal. Let's see whether Viper can actually land this. Oh man, that volley was so high value as Andil is able to get the kill back, but not without sacrifice.
I think he actually gets a proc of his Hextech alternator in that final moment as well. Zeus!
Oh god, okay, that is going to be some plasma proc, but Teddy's able to cleanse out from Delight, but the arrow's still going to connect onto Andil here. Peanut dashing forward, but Teddy! Killer instinct into the backline.
Perhaps thought he was going to die either way, so decided to go in, which I think, you know, if that's true, if we look at the replay, maybe we'll think differently elsewhere, especially because it's a Nidalee composition. If Rich dodges even a few of these...
Oh, the arrow going to connect. That's after the dash. That is bad news, Bears. He's going to get taken down, quite literally, because that's what the ability's called there from Peanut. And they will lose this turret. That should be a feat of strength going on over to HLE, and there it is.
That's a huge play from Viper, because I think without the arrow, he can buy so much time, and they have so much control over that top side. They don't get the turret, actually.
Oh, God. Okay, Glacial Prison goes down, and so will Delight, because he doesn't have a health bar still. Sponge tanking up that turret. Winter's Wrath avoided beautifully there by Viper, but now Andil and Yukal looking to try and take him down. That Rocket Belt doing some work there, but Andil not able to close the gap. That's an inner turret. Okay.
Yeah, for
on this Nidalee so far as the arrow once again. Oh, it sails by the spider and hits the boar. Andil's still going to die though as Zeka locks that one down with a Frost Bomb. Been fall behind and then find a way back in. This is get ahead and then not find a way to do anything in the mid game. That's really working out as now Teddy and Viper are fighting. Teddy's going to win this one. He's able to take down his opposite. And he had the best celebrations and things like that. Teddy was really cleaning up.
He's just an iconic player.
More attention for the next game.
Man, we're going to have to pull up the damage to structure stat or something at some point. He
has like close to the highest gold lead in the game.
Get this man a Hull Breaker.
Surely he'll build it next.
I mean, he could. I mean, Yukal is going to get a turret down here on the bottom side in exchange with the Herald.
Leandries. So, yeah, these are very threatening. as they dive onto Sponge. Great Arctic Assault, but Viper is going to tag Andal. A few arrows do come in, but UCal has found the Ash, and he's in the blender and will be just decimated. Zeka teleported in, but I don't know whether he really wanted to, as these health bars are going lower, but I don't think that they can actually re-engage as Delight. Yeah, he's going to try and protect himself, but he gets stunned, and oh god, the damage from Teddy.
This is starting to be the
HLE decide that they want to stop that from happening, and should be able to get this out of.
Zeus has Mega.
Yeah, Zeus not going to be too worried about what DRX is going to be able to do here as Sponge moves in and wants to immediately move out. Oh, the Arctic Assault missed synergy there alongside the Cocoon, forcing that one to miss. The Dragon is going to go to Peanut, and Zeus, wanting to kill Rich, slows him down with a big old rock, and that is going to cause his... Sleepwolf. Viper going to get tagged, yep. Health bar completely invisible here as they're looking to rotate over. Yeah, Otacon's going to be taken, and then you're going to be here. You do not want to be here, DRX. As what goes up must come down, and then goes even further.
Automatic for them. I mean, Zeus, 5-0-2, 3 items.
Oh, easy on the trigger finger there, but unfortunately, Andal is still going to pop like a balloon.
Zeus on a flank situation, but he does have his withdrawal, so I don't think he cares.
Yeah, this is the thing. So DRX are going to move over. Delight gets healed up, actually, from Peanut for most of his health bar, and Sponge, he doesn't have that option. He just dies. Baron is going to go over to HLE as well. And it's like HLE just decided they wanted to win in the last few minutes. Rich going to get thrown back into the wall. He'd almost escaped.
Some of the toughest parts, and you have that big game-deciding team fight where Andal's cut off, you lose turret, you lose a member, then you lose Andal, then you lose Andal before Baron. It's like Summoner's Rift's got a post 20-minute, get an objective, you get one Andal free. You know, Hanwha Life just soul as well to play around like I was talking about.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
That time the rappel didn't land. Oh god. Okay.
Like I said, it's a post 20-minute objective.
Make this one work. As Teddy, oh god, tagged by another spear. And Viper just avoiding these Void Seekers. Sponge and UCal just wondering which fire they need to put out first, and unfortunately that results in none of them really going out. Cocoon going to connect here as the Mega Nart should actually come through. It's just whether or not that does anything. He hops into the enemy base. And Teddy, I don't know whether you needed to ult.
Second Chemtech Dragon. They got the Andal preemptively this time, so I think that is premedicated on maintaining control, which they lost significantly as Zeus.
Well, Teddy, he looks good gold. That is true, as he flashes and kills him. So that's a lot of cooldowns. However, the results once again say that things are good. Rich is also dead, and so it's a 1-for-1 as both top lane.
2.5 more minutes for the inhibitor to spawn and try to keep Baron from happening at that point. Maybe then you can win a miracle team fight. Maybe that's your only hope at this point. Looking for a second inhibitor though is HLE.
Yeah,
I think they're going to get it.
Going to tag Sponge, but he was able to buffer the Arctic Assault, and the inhibitor will go down. So that is 2. Next one could be taken here unless they move over to the Baron in 30 seconds time to take that one down instead. UCal possibly overextended, and by possibly I mean very overextended. The flash forward from Delight. UCal's relatively tanky, and Zeka may go down as well, but not before killing him. As, oh god, the spear just one-shots onto Andal, and now Peanut is just dancing around the fight, able to take them all down. Rich still going all out though, and is able to execute both of the damage dealers. Zeus just wasn't there, and also probably wasn't needed. Delight likely to die, but instead he gets healed up by Peanut and manages to help take down the Cassante. Peanut's Nidalee, man, he's really having a day out on this champion. The Nexus will now go down. This was a weird, wonderful, wacky game, but in the end, it's HLE walking away with the W.
Yeah, I think we might be taking a closer look. Talking about, man, I feel like Hanwha Life, this time they really ended up with the way better draft.
They've kind of run away with it. The one saving grace I would have for DRX is the fact that the quickness charm is so good with
Can't be here.
Yeah.
And Zeus just TP's top, and they're like, all right, you can swap, but we can also get plates and zone the Rumble out, and Rich is like...
And it's just not really the thing. Okay, Bolt Breaker to try and save it here. 3 versus 3. Ulti comes down from Zeus. He's doing so much damage as Andal might be sacrificed here. The flash out as Sponge gets underneath the turret, but they are just picking them off like fish in a barrel. Another one goes over to the Freljordian Bunny.
No level 6 for Rich. You know, he just doesn't have it.
Viper really doesn't want to flash, but he is going to have to flash. Justice Punch going to get the knock-up on to UCal, and oh god. It's not like end of the world, but now UCal tries to salvage the play. They force the flash.
Oh, he's got 6!
Oh, he does. So does Peanut. as Rich just gives him the thumbs up, says, oh, it's good to see you, buddy. I remember our Nongshim time. You have that control.
Yeah.
As all right, Vault Breaker is going to connect onto Peanut. Hook goes wide as there's a bullet time. Down goes Peanut. So that is a great...
No time for Peanut to react. And it's Vi, so I mean, there's not much he could do anyways. Targeted, and he's gonna just have to sit through it, and that he did, but fortunately wasn't able to get away. Did commit his ultimate, but not his flash as he goes down, and that's Grubs going over.
Yeah, that'll be 3 for 3.
They have so much control over this dragon that they can kind of just freely let that bottom wave sit for a second.
He lines right now as Zeus slips between the veil. And now, Delight taking a bit of damage. Chains of Corruption do go wide as now the quickness ties up two of them. Bullet time to try and shred down these health bars, and it works! Andal will be going down though as Zekra's running amok in the backline. Rich going to be his next target as now Peanut trying to make his way out of there. Viper not going to be so lucky as the heroic entrance to join Peanut and the gang and another Justice Punch. Zekra just taking full control of the team fight while Yukal is in top exchange.
He's a fountain cone.
Yeah. Well, now Andal's in a bit of trouble. Doesn't exactly get a whole lot of quickness value as Yukal ties him up with the ulti, but then immediately explodes. The bullet time this time does get fully channeled, but into the... because he wasn't feeling like he was at his best. Certainly having a good time in this game. As nice steal there from Sponge. Gets the smite down. Peanut looks a little bit silly. That's the real one, and he just gets ulted. Zekka gonna move over, finds a 3-man taunt, but Teddy's not taunted. Peanut trying to get himself out of there, finds the Cyclone as Viper is the one who soaks the ulti. Peanut almost makes it out. So weird, I don't know what's going on really. As the bullet time once again, that's gonna wipe out Viper. And now, Delight walking on in, wonders where the rest of his teammates have gone as Zeus has a fair bit of damage, but there are a lot of bad guys. And down goes Delight. Yukal gonna turn up as well, and what just happened to HLE?
Let's just call it a happy accident if you're a DRX fan. If you're a Hanwha Life fan, you're just as frustrated as you were in the early game of Game 1, as that was a disastrous fight. And look, you ended up losing out the smite, but you don't have to deny the eye just because you ended up getting your early game plays. But when sloppy fights break out, and your comp is the one that's really simple to execute, divide and conquer or wombo combo, they can do both. You really have to be respectful in this case. I think Peanut should have let that
Getting the information that Sponge is in this pit, and I don't think he's allowed to be in here for much longer. See whether Peanut can get some sort of steal or whether Sponge just has to get out of there and concede this part of the map. Yukal gets over, great knock-up, but it's still Peanut with the hands. This split push Yone. Get something done. Sponge going to be chasing after him as Fate Sealed coming on through, and yeah, Yukal, I don't know whether he's going to be able to do enough tricky stuff to get himself out of this. However, Delight is also in trouble. That is a 1-for-1 as the heroic entrance onto the corpse of the Nautilus is not going to be able to keep him alive. So 1-for-1 trade. Mid lane for support, probably still good for HLE.
And
Rich is able to take this turret,
yeah. This actually worked out really well for DRX, all things considered, because they knew
Speedy Gargoyle. As Artican is going to lose interest. And Hook going to connect there. Chains of Corruption going down there as well. As Sponge taking the kitchen sink. Equalizer to bring Viper out of this fight completely. And Andal might be able to knock down Zeus, but he gets to the other side of his wall, exhausted there as well. Can't utilize it anymore as Rich finds the value. In the meantime, though, Teddy does fall down. Delight moving back towards this fight as Zeus single-handedly
is fairly low. Is going to back away. They might be able to get both from this, but man, that fight was a lot closer than I think it had any right to be, especially with Teddy just getting completely cut off there. Sponge, they let it be, but they just know. They know there's no TPs. They know they have enough time. DRX running as fast as they can.
It's down to 5,000 health. They are sort of slowing the DPS. And as you can see, without the Varus there, they don't quite have the damage.
Oh
now
my
Sponge
God.
is going to get into position. Peanut down to 50%. It's going to be a 50-50. The taunt comes through. Peanut locks it down this time as Zekka goes golden. And remember, they have recalls now. The Winds of War come in. Rich, he goes golden as well, but he is in so much danger. Viper might be able to get some revenge, and he does so. Yukal looking to try and ult his way out, but unfortunately, it's his fate that's getting sealed here today. It's a double kill for the Varus, and HLE, I think they've broken the backs of DRX in this one.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that miracle Game 3 is going to come to fruition here, as Delight will take an extra turret shot to keep as many minions alive as possible here so they can try to look for the inhib.
All right, they're going to look for it. There is the bullet time. It connects, and Viper is going to be sent home. There's the heroic entrance. Oh, Teddy just gets flattened like a bug, and they take down Sponge as well. No one dies because, of course, with Artican, you cannot and HLE will continue to move forward. Ace in hand. Andal has just spawned, but he's not going to be able to stop this from going down.
And was not back in time, as Andal's likely to follow the same fate.
Yeah, it's the old out of a replay into a death.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's
still totally fine. But like you say, Zeka still has his, so he can just play defensive duty. And this Baron will be going down. There's nothing to stop Peanut from taking this out. And there it goes. So this is where sort of the flank angle, I think that's the stage of the game that they feel like they're up to, as Peanut getting on in there. The ulti comes through from Zeus, who's tanking the turret about 1,000,000 times. Goes golden in the nick of time to get out of dodge. Even flashes out of the bullet time and then goes between the veil. What the heck was that, Zeus? That is unfair. Teddy gonna get hooked and murdered. Zeus does eventually fall, but he bought enough time. As Peanut goes into his GA, he is not phased about this one. The knock up, the taunt, everything, and Rich goes down. UCal deals with some minions. The Winds of War don't quite manage to land, but remember, the soul is unbound. And can they kill him? Yes, they can. The piercing arrow is going to come through as Peanut tanks the turret for just long enough.
Oh, for DRX, man, always so close in this game, but not enough. Thought perhaps they'd get one more Hail Mary, one more miracle, but Zeus said no. His movement there in those final moments,
how did he live, man?
I just don't even know.
I just don't even understand.
Is he cheating?
Of him. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, all right.
Andal, hold up.
Taking a lot of damage here as Andal just throws down the quickness to buy some time.
Teddy's up in 2, but he doesn't have ult.
Yeah. This Nexus turret, not long for the world. They do respawn now. Just don't know whether the Nexus does.
Teddy's about to have flash, but he doesn't want to go in, and there's the TP.
That's a teleport. All right, Zeus doesn't have his ultimate, and down goes Peanut. Okay, Zeus, what was the plan? The plan was die, as Sponge almost does the same thing.
Which Zeus play was... Hanwha said, well, hold on, one more. I'll give him one more.
Oh, God, Peanut may have just phased
no.
Oh, no, he ulted a clone! Oh dear, okay, Sponge able to Vault Breaker his way out as the bullet time doing a lot of damage. The Wombo comes in and they lose 2 for 1. Now the heroic entrance wasn't actually invested there as Zeus goes golden. Zeka looking to try and pick up Rich, but he goes golden in the nick of time, and Teddy is the fountain laser they've been waiting for. Viper, you're gonna have to keep your cool, buddy, because this is gonna have to be a clutch situation now. The Elder has now spawned.
Wait, the snipe!
Oh, God, okay. Viper's flashing. He finds the hail of arrows. The Chains of Corruption back off cooldown. The Justice Punch doesn't feel like justice anymore. DRX will lose Teddy, and the game is now over.
Bodyguard, bouncer, whatever you want to call him, he's just not going to allow anyone near that Elder. And with Viper, 10 kills, full build, Zephyr, I mean, feats of strength on the Zephyr.
Fancy shoes.
He also has now the Elder buff.
Oh, okay, another combo as the ulti comes through from UCal as well. Teddy going down solo. Remember, they're fighting into Elder Dragon, and the Dragon is hungry. It's going to be taken down too, as there's the heroic entrance. Pentakill for a Galio. It's the Quadra now as Andal's looking to try and deny it, but look at how fast he is. That's Cloud Soul, boys and girls, as the Winds of War get the Penta for Zeka's Galio.
Oh, you love to see it. That's the way you want to end this game if you're Zeka. If you're Hanwha Life, I don't know if you were really happy with how the mid-game went and some of those mistakes you made, but they'll take it.
Oh, baby, that's one way to end it. This was if they want to get further in this tournament.
There's so much on the line for that T1 Hanwha match. It's the grudge match, right? It's the Zeus versus his old team matchup.
Oh, yeah.
Peanut versus his old team from a really long time ago, but it is very much, I think, the match people have been waiting for, the ones that people were most hyped about. We didn't get it because the group battle, they were in the same group. And Zeka will pick it up in the end.
9-1-6 and an 8-1-15. There were some score lines.
And look, both of them played incredibly well. Zeka and Zeus, I think both votes make a ton of sense. And his Corki game, he did so much damage, and he was able to... He had some risky calls he made, for sure, like TPing in the middle of 5 people, but he got away with it. He wasn't punished, and the Corki did pop off, and he won on Corki, so that's a big boon. Pentakill on a Galio, that doesn't come around but once every half a decade, and I thought it was a very messy game for Hanwha, though, and that's going to be my takeaway. And I hate to say that about a win like this, a 2-0 win with a Pentakill, but... You've got stiff opposition coming up. You've got T1. Eventually, you'll face D+ if you're going to win this tournament. We're going to have to see cleaner play.
Exactly right. But now we get to hear from Zeka himself. So let's see what they have to say about this performance.
2025 LCK 컵 플레인 2라운드
Thank you very much, guys. This is here for the POM interview translation joined by Zeka on the side of Hanwha Life Esports.
축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
Congratulations. Thank you.
네, 플레이오프 진출 먼저 진심으로 축하드립니다. 오늘
Congratulations on advancing to the playoffs. How would you rate today's match?
들어가기 전에 좀 괜찮은 경기력으로 마무리.
Before we went,
2대0으로 승리했습니다.
we go into the playoffs. I feel like we did pretty well, so I'm glad that we were able to secure a 2-0. So how was your first penta? It seems like you were really demanding it from your teammates.
갑자기 쿼드라킬 먹.
No, I wasn't aware that I was going to actually get a penta, but once I got close to it, I got really greedy and I really wanted it, so I had to get it.
올라오는 과정에서 DRX가 보여준 경기력도 굉장히
And in the process of climbing, DRX has shown some promising plays, and they looked pretty convincing today as well. So what about DRX did you take note of in preparation for today? Yeah, our most recent match was actually against DRX, and we thought that they're really good at trading and team fighting. So I think that's just something that we decided to focus on. And your Corki in game 1 was quite clean. It looks like Corki's win rate is gradually going up. And we even got our first mid Corki win yesterday, so how would you rate mid Corki right now? Yeah, because Corki wasn't having a lot of good wins, I thought that Corki wasn't as good, but I actually, just from yesterday, I thought that Corki looked really good. So I guess psychologically, you start thinking that Corki is bad when you see that there's not a lot of wins with him, but it looked so good yesterday that I had to play him. And it was a battle between the Super Soldier and the best blade of Korea, with lots of attention in the mid lane. We got a Yone versus Galio matchup in Game 2. How is Galio against Yone? You know, when it comes to a melee matchup, Galio is actually really playable against Yone, although not a lot of people might agree that he's a good matchup against Yone. So playoffs will be a best of 5 and you will meet T1 in the playoffs. So what do you think will be most crucial? Our first matchup will be against T1. It's going to be pretty tough, but they're also really good at team fighting and just fighting in overall. So I hope that we get to prepare ourselves for those trades. And I hope that we can work even harder to show an even better performance in the playoffs. And that's the end of the interview with Zeka, and back to the space. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear. And that is the question. What do you think the score is going to be of that T1 Hanwha Life Esports match? You know, got asked in the interview. Figured we'd just start the conversation now. You can do that in the chat. Welcome back to Space, Digon, alongside Chronicler and Wadid, as we break down this last match here in the best of 3 between DRX and Hanwha Life Esports. And it's not great. It's not like
don't want it. I don't want it, Diego.
No, you have to do it.
I'm not
That's
gonna
your
be.
job.
I'm not gonna be too negative. I think that Hanwha 2-0'd, and that's what really matters. And we all have eyes. We all just witnessed that game.
Yes.
It was very fun. It was entertaining. And if Hanwha play that way against T1, they're gonna get